Hi guys, welcome back to At Home with Holly. My name's Holly. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. Today I want to show you my expanded chicken run. I doubled the size, almost doubled the size of my chicken run by building a duplicate of the original run. Just copied those, everything that he did. So I can't wait to show you guys. So glad that you're here. So the process of extending this run meant that I had to first mark out and level out and move the things that were in the way. So I had a raised bed there that needed moved. I had to make sure the ground was level, and then I put hardware cloth around the exterior and covered that with landscape fabric so that it had a no-dig perimeter that matches the no-dig perimeter that's around my pre-existing coop. I was able to move everything. This was a long day, a lot of shoveling, but we got it done. And then I went ahead and stained the 2x4s. We were able to find a fencing manufacturer that was selling the 2x4, their seconds, basically the stuff that they didn't want, for $2 a board, which is crazy affordable compared to what they would cost if you bought them brand new anywhere else. So we built the walls inside my garage so that they were square and level. So this is the back wall, and we did use a pneumatic stapler to attach the hardware cloth, and then I went back with screws with washers to make sure that it was nice and secure. This is the front wall laying on the ground, and the back wall is standing up. We were able to add a Dutch door and a drop-down door for feeders and mimic the design and the dimensions of the pre-existing coop. And then from that same fencing supplier, I was able to get fence pickets, and we were able to, with the help of my friend Jim and his father, who has a woodworking, everything you need for woodworking in his garage, he was able to cut the joints in them so that they were able to lay just like shiplap. So the hardest part was cutting out the pre-existing end wall with a Sawzall, and that was really delicate and hard and complicated, but we were able to remove that door and then put in our new midway wall, which has a door that we can walk through and then also latch if we want to separate the two sides of the run. And so once we were able to get that all matched up, we were able to attach it with screws and then attach the back wall and the front wall and then use the pre-existing end wall. We just slid that down and attached it right to the end, which was really nice. It was laborious. It was a lot of labor to move that, but in the end, I think it number one, it makes it match up better because then it goes kind of white cedar, and then also we were able to use the pre-existing stuff. And the girls spent the day in the turkey tractor scratching around in the lawn, and they had a good time. So you can see that end wall laying there waiting for us to attach it. So first we attached that back wall, which was a pretty straightforward wall, and then we stood up the front wall and used the original end wall back on the new end, and we're able to screw that in and put in the bracing. And then the next part was we needed to attach the roof. Now I was lucky that my local Menards has a clearance bin, and so we were able to get 4 pieces. I was able to get 4 pieces of the metal roofing to match the existing roofing. It was a foot too long though, so Mark pulled out his grinder and then he made them all match, and then he did the ladder work because I am afraid of heights, and so he attached the roof, and it all came together fairly, I don't want to say easily. It was a lot of hard work. We were able to do this in less than a week because we built all the pieces inside my garage and then we're able to stand it up. And of course, we added the Dutch door and the drop-down doors and made it super fancy, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. So this is what it looks like with the extra run. We just moved this exterior wall down here. There's a drop-down door for feeders, a Dutch door just like that side, and it does have a walk-through door inside. Still needs a latch, but chickens are in, they're scratching, and they have plenty of room. Just gotta hang up some lights and fans. So here is the completed coop and run. So my coop is up there, and this whole section with the white was the original run. And then we added on this section over here. So I mimicked the same doors. So there's a drop down door here with feeders behind it. There's a drop down door over here with feeders and waters behind it. This is the original wall that has the flower box and all the stuff on it. Was able to run the electric so that the fan is still going. I am going to look into getting some solar fans, and I need to find out if there's solar bird bath heaters, because that's how I warm my chickens' waters during the winter. And right now I'm just running electric, so it would be nice if everything was on solar. So this is the safety latch, so you can pull it from the inside so you won't get locked inside the coop. And we did Dutch doors on this side so that you can open and just throw in some goodies, or you can come all the way in. And right now this is the bare earth that was here, and the chickens are enjoying scratching and finding, ants and bugs and all the things. And after they have scratched it all up, I will get some wood chips and put the wood chips in over here. So this was the existing run and coop before. And I found this at my local Menards, and it was in the clearance section for $10, but they let me buy it for $5. So this is just something fun for them to stand on. I think it was like a wheel of electric wire or something. So then we have our omelet door, our coop, the electric that's run through. And the nice thing is there's a door separating the new and the old section, so that as I'm bringing in new younger chicks or meat birds or whatever, they can start out over here, and there is electric run, so that I could even have a heat plate out here for the baby chicks, so I could actually brood them out here versus in my garage or basement, which is very helpful because chickens are stinky. So I was able to build this for fairly cheap because we found a local person selling cedar 2x4s and fence pickets, and the 2x4s were 2x4x8, and they were only $2 a board, which is crazy good deal. And then the fence pickets were $1 a board. I'm super happy with the way it came out. The original coop and run was cedar and pine boards, stained cedar. So I love the way it looks with the cedar addition. So it's got the cedar addition and then the white walls down there. And I was able to add solar rope lights in here so that I can see in the coop from inside at night, just barely, just in case somebody didn't make it before the door closed, because the door closes automatically. It's set to when the daylight gets to a certain percentage, it shuts, and when it gets bright again in the morning, it opens back up. So right now we have 9 chickens in here, and the coop and the whole run is 6 feet wide, and it is 28 feet long. So we have 9 chickens in here. We could put up to 17, but I'll probably keep it under 15. And then if you're locked in, you can't get out, you pull this, and it opens the latch so that you can get out. So originally the video was going to end right there, but then we decided to go ahead and build a brooder, and I lined the bottom with hardware cloth and made a top with hardware cloth, so it is all protected. And I thought, I've never tried raising fall chicks. Maybe I should see about raising fall chicks so that way they'd start laying, in February or March, depending on the breed. And I wouldn't have to wait till April to get the chicks and then have them not start laying till September or October. So I went ahead and built this brooder, and this brooder is big enough that I can do meat birds in it as well. And then I took a drive down to Meyer Hatchery, which is only about an hour and a half from where I live. And I originally went down there because I found four birds, four little egg layers that would add some more green eggs to my laying flock. But I went down there and it happened to be their hatching day, and I asked them if they had any extras. So I came down for four, but they had two little ones that lay blue eggs too. So what's a girl to do besides get 6? Day 2, and they're doing great. That's going to do it for me, you guys. I want to thank you guys so much for the likes and the comments and the shares. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. We have a whole lot more growing and chickens and gardening and preserving and fun stuff to do. Can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye, my friend.